What's up, y'all? I am your girl, Kandi, and I am super excited because today we are sitting with someone who we have watched evolve for years. She's an actress, she's a singer, she's a comedian, and she's an author. But beyond all of that, we have a mother, an advocate, and a woman who has rebuilt in real time, okay? And you know what? She's somebody that I've been a fan of for years. Okay, somebody that I love dearly because she, like myself, I feel like has constantly reinvented herself over and over again. So it's always excited for me to sit with someone who has been able to do that so that I can learn some things myself. And today we have Tisha Campbell, and she's about to speak on it.
It's been a long time coming.
It has been a long time.
Yes,
We've been
yes.
reaching out to you for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But you know what else? Like, I've been wanting to have conversation, and every time I see you, it's always love. So
It's always love, and then we're always working.
we always work. So we're pew.
Exactly, always working.
Yeah.
So you've done a lot. I mean, I didn't even get to the part in the introduction where I was just gonna share with the people also that you have a son, with autism
I
who's
do.
on the spectrum.
Yeah.
And you've been navigating those public life changes.
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody was telling me about your social media page.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, they were
What
saying
they say? What they say?
No, they were just saying that it was so fun and it's just really cool. So I know I saw a clip, but you want to tell a little bit about that?
Well, you know what? It's interesting because I tried to keep my kids as far away from Hollywood as I could. Like, I didn't have them on the red carpet, and
How many?
I have two kids. I
Okay.
have two boys. Zen, who is 24 years old. That's the one on the spectrum. And then there's Ezekiel, Zeke. He's 16.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yes. And they're such nice kids, y'all. They're such nice kids. But anyway, so damn, what was the question again?
Well, no, I was just saying
The social media page.
social media.
So I tried to keep them as far away from all of that as possible. But then Love on the Spectrum, there's a show called Love on the Spectrum, and everybody just embraced everybody on that show. And I saw how people reacted and responded in the comments, and they were all so supportive. And so I went to Zen. I was like, you know what? Baby, I think we could help a lot of people. What do you think if we could do this? And then my other friend, Danny, she's my producing partner. She kept pushing for us to do this. And so we tried, and I was like, listen, if anybody nut up, you know what mommy gonna do, right? We gonna pull it, and I'll probably cut a couple of people out, but you know. And so he was like, no, I get it. And the way that people have responded to him, they love on him so hard. It's like he's their internet nephew. And so we started posting all of this stuff. And the funniest part about it is that people's reaction to us. There was first of all, for me, they're like, oh, you a mother. Oh, you a real Black mother, right? I was like, what else am I supposed to be? But but also, they get to see us, not with a script. They get to
Right.
see the real us.
But that's the thing about social media.
I do like that part.
I think that in the beginning when social media was first starting to buzz,
Yeah.
I think when I say real actresses, because that's what they used to say back in the day.
Sorry about
People
that.
who start off in the acting world and that was their thing.
that.
Yeah, a lot of them weren't really embracing.
They don't embrace y'all,
the
right?
reality,
Uh-huh.
people from reality, or the people from social media,
Or
and stuff
people
like
trying to make that transition. From my perspective, I'm gonna tell you, however you try to get on, you have to get on, right? However you want to feed your family, that's how you feed your family. As long as you have that, like you did, like some other people did, they have bigger goals in mind, right? That was just a transition to the bigger goal.
Yeah.
And so I've always embraced everybody. Like, when for a certain amount of time, like right around the mid 90s, they were only casting for actors. They were only casting musicians because
Oh, that was a thing too.
yeah, right.
You know,
Remember?
from the music world.
Right. So you was getting double.
Double.
You were getting double, hate.
Yeah.
Double hate. But when people, for a time, it was just them because you guys have catalogs that reach global. global ears, right? So it makes sense to put somebody in that position where they can make money overseas, as well as not just in the United States. So, I've always thought, okay, what's meant for me is meant for me. What's meant for you is meant for you. I like seeing people being put on. I love seeing people working hard and hustling and figuring it all out. So I embrace it. I don't care if a reality star gets a job. You got a job. Good for you. I love that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so I want to go back. We are going to come back to motherhood and all those things.
Okay.
But I want to kind of start from the beginning.
Oh, shoot.
You are from Newark, New Jersey.
I am.
What was that like for you growing up, and how did that shape you stepping into this industry so young?
Okay, so
how old were you, like
when I started singing?
Yeah, like
I was 3. I was 3 years old when I started singing at churches and schools and stuff. My mother, okay, I'm gonna back it up before that. My mother was in a gospel group called the Shockley Singers, and they used to sing background for Mahalia Jackson. And so music was always in my family. My father, that's how they met. He was in a group. And so music was always there, and I started singing around 3. But I was also a very conscious kid. I was conscious about how really, really poor we were. Like, we was eating mayonnaise sandwiches sometimes, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Syrup sandwiches too, government cheese, food stamps, the whole thing. And so I was just a very conscious kid about it all. And I knew that I wanted to help, right? So we didn't have a color television.
Okay.
That worked.
Back in the day.
Back in the day. We didn't have one that worked. And so I heard that there was this talent contest when I was about 5 years old. And the second prize was a color television.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I wanted to win that for my family. And I begged my mother. She was like, there are no kids in that talent contest, only adults. And I was like, I don't care, I want to win it. So she entered me into it, and I didn't win the color television. I didn't win the second prize. I won the first prize. I won a car.
Ooh, what?
Yes, I won a car, and I was mad.
You was mad?
Yeah, I was mad. I'm 5, and they put these keys in my hand. Plus, my brother was eating my Cheetos, so I dropped the keys and I ran to go kill him at the stage, and then I saw my mother, crying, and I saw my father jumping up and down, and I was like, oh, got it. I can help people.
Yeah.
And so from that moment on, that was my goal for what I was doing. And it kind of been the through line for my whole life. I just wanted to help. So that's how it kind of started.
Okay. And you've had such a long career, acting, music, comedy, which I want to get to that comedy thing in a minute. When you look back, did you always see it going this way?
Let me think. No.
Like, did you see yourself being anything other than entertainment?
That. Okay. So it would have, if I did anything other than this, it would have to have something to do with the arts. Like, I love interior design. I love to paint. But I would have to have, even if it was martial arts, and I can't kick nothing. But if I had to, this would be the only thing that I would be doing. Yes.
Yeah.
I knew when I was little.
I feel you.
Yeah.
So, okay. You were a part of the most iconic television show. Everybody was like, Martin was like the thing.
Yeah.
Were you able to walk the streets during that time of your life when that show was like at its height, and you got, and you were, how old were you then?
22 to 26.
Okay, so were you able to just do regular stuff?
It's weird. Okay, so my first movie was Little Shop of Horrors, and I was 16 years old.
When I tell you, it's so funny because I was just talking to TS on the show.
Okay, yes.
She's telling me she wants to she was like, would you please redo Little Shop of Horrors for a Broadway show?
That would be good. It's on right now.
Huh?
She wants to, a whole, that would be amazing. Sorry, that would be.
But oh my God, when I tell you, I used to love you, and I used to be singing the song. I was like, oh my God. So yeah, of course.
No, but when I was 16, It's been kind of that kind of attention my whole life. So it's kind of second nature, so I don't pay attention to it.
Oh, okay. So you were by the time you made it to Martin, it was like, this is old.
But and when it wasn't really like old, I appreciated it, but it was more like it was part of my life. Like, you know how it is when you are at home and you go outside your door, you're at work. No matter what, like, people are going to stop you. They're going to take pictures. So you're always on. You always have that mask on. It's similar to that. It's like, it's always been a part of your life. So and like, my kids will just pass by the television. They'll hear my voice, but they don't even look. It's just been a part of their lives. So they don't, they don't care. Yeah, it wasn't a thing.
Okay. So when you did School Days, now that right there. Oh my gosh. And I tell you, I used to have this doing the butt sweatshirt. I got it when I was visiting my auntie one time.
What?
And she lived in LA, and in Venice Beach they have all the
Yeah.
I got this sweatshirt, so I came back to school, and I was like,
That's hilarious. That is hilarious.
It's funny the things you remember about your life.
Oh my God.
But you worked with the great Spike Lee.
Yes, I did.
At the time. How was that?
That was amazing. Listen, I thought I was auditioning to be one of the day players or the extras. I didn't know that I was auditioning to be one of the leads at all. And as a matter of fact, I got through the first audition, which was the acting audition, the second audition, which was the singing audition. And then I was at home and I get a call and they said, yes, you have a audition for a dance audition. And I was like, I'm not a dancer. I'm not going to that, right? But then Robbie Reed calls me back. She was like, Tisha, do you know that's for School Days? I was like, oh, okay, I could do that. Oh no, I'm gonna come. Okay. But then, I'm not a real dancer. Everybody thinks I am. They think I'm a trained dancer. They think I've trained my whole life. Even my agent, when I was like 15, they came to see me on a Broadway show. They thought I was a real dancer. They kept sending me out on dance auditions. I was like, I'm not a dancer. I can't. You guys keep sending me out and I keep. So they stopped that. But I asked Robbie Reed, I was like, Robbie, when's the first audition? When's the last audition? She was like, 10 o'clock. And the last is like, I guess 6. I was like, give me the 6 o'clock. So I show up at 10 o'clock. Because I'm not a trained dancer and I wanted to learn it. So I stayed there all day long learning the dance. And it was crazy because, again, I could see Spike coming in and out of the room, checking. I didn't know he was checking on to see how I was doing and why I was there so long. But I didn't even take a water break. I didn't take a lunch break. I stayed there and learned the dance so that I could compete with the real dancers.
All right, y'all. Now, she just put us up on game. Now, I don't know if I would have ever thought to do that. Like, that was a smart move.
Listen,
so
you got to do what you got to do.
Like, you let the people think you were sleeping. You told them, yeah, I'm not coming till later, but you came early.
Hours early.
Like, we got to keep that in mind. Hours early.
Hours
so
early.
That she could be more than prepared.
And I went out there and I did it. And it's funny. Otis Salik was the choreographer, and he doesn't remember doing this. But when I came in, they audition you with like 10 people at a time. Right. So there's other people watch it. Actually, this particular audition, there was 10 of us and then 10 waiting on the sidelines. So they're watching you. So your competition is basically watching. And so Otis comes. I'm in the back because I'm still trying to hide because I wasn't sure if I had it or not. But he comes to me and everybody's watching and he's circling me. And then he gets in my face and he goes, do you really want to do this? And I was like, I want to try. And he goes, all right. Why was he singling me out? And I was like, oh, that just freaked me out. But I still had to perform. I still got through it. And then by the time I got home, I got the call that I was in it, but I still didn't know that I was the lead.
Right.
So Spike called me and finally told me, you're the lead. And we're going to fly you out 2 weeks into Atlanta, 2 weeks before the rest of the cast gets there so the choreographer can work with you and get you prepared so that you could be with everybody else. So that's how it happened. I never told that story, by the way.
That's dope. Have y'all worked together since, or that was
Spike? No, I just saw him at a basketball game, and we were talking about some things we could work on. But yeah,
that's dope.
yeah.
Okay. Now, after Martin, do people still call you Gina?
Yeah, my son calls me Gina.
Really?
Yeah, girl. I can't stop it, so I just be answering.
Was it because people talk about this all the time about how when sometimes actors are, like something very iconic, and how hard it is to transition out of that.
It is sometimes like, okay, with our Caucasian counterparts, they'll recast them if they know that they could do the part, right? So like if the woman from Seinfeld, what's her name again? The woman from Seinfeld, anybody know her name? Julia Dreyfus. Juliet. So like the woman from Seinfeld, Julie Dreyfus, they'll continue to cast her. But for some reason with us, if you get on one show, a lot of comedians don't want to be compared to the last person that you had worked with. So they want to find a fresh, newer thing, not thinking about the fact that I can do the work. And the way that I work in comedy or with any acting partner, the way that I work is that I figure them out. I work with them. I learn how they operate so that I could best support them to make them shine. That's what I do with every single person that I work with. I'm trying to make you shine. Even if I'm number one on the call sheet, I'm still trying to make the supporting people shine.
Right.
Yeah.
That's important.
So sometimes that could get in the way, and sometimes it's hard.
Right. I feel like, I get what you're saying because, I think about, there are the few who have really been able to break that mold, like even Ted Bundy from Married with Children.
Yeah.
He went on to do.
Modern Family.
Family.
Yes.
And, but you yourself, you had multiple shows where you were, had very long lasting shows.
You know why?
Well, why?
Because I'm a hustler. And I know that you can relate to this. First of all, we've both been in this business collectively about 80 years.
Yes.
Okay. Since we were kids.
Yeah.
And what you learn when you grow up in it, that if you're smart, you have to recreate yourself as the times change. So you have to recreate yourself. So I'm always exploring and other genres of the industry that we're in.
Right. And you cannot do it with any ego.
And you can't do it with ego.
Yeah, because some people, once they've had a major success, then they feel like they come into the next thing feeling like, oh, well, what you mean? Like, I'm me.
Yeah.
But you can't do that because it's like that, one, it makes people not necessarily want to work with that type of person.
That's true.
And then the other thing is, it's like, instead of everybody being able to be comfortable around you,
right,
then they start to like feeling like they can't really explore their full self because they feel like,
and that's just weird.
Yeah.
And again, Kandi, we can relate a lot because we grew up in this business since we were both kids, right? And I always talk about the difference between being an artist and being a celebrity. I talk about it all the time. The difference between being an artist and being a celebrity is artists understand the assignment. They understand that they're here to serve other people. Celebrities misconstrue it and think they're here to be served.
That's the best way I've heard it described.
Yes, it's completely, and they're gonna get the message. Like, y'all be patient with some of the celebrities because God's going to give them the message one way or another. And that means that everything can be taken away or whatever.
So true.
It just is what it is. This business is a up and down.
And yeah, I always feel that way because like people that we started in the game with, they be like, well, they on the Where Are They Now episode.
Or that's true. Or Like, we were just talking in the car about a couple of friends of ours who used to be PAs, production assistants.
And now they running everything.
They running everything.
Yes.
And so you got to be nice to the people on the come up.
Yes.
Because you could be coming down.
Yes.
And so I think, you know, you and I, again, relate because there's a certain amount of understanding of the game, a certain amount of understanding because we grew up in it, and the humility of it all. Like, it could come, it could go, it could come and it could go. I also think that we understand how the audience, what their job is. Their job is to cheer you on and to boo your ass sometimes. It is, right? And so you can't get into how many likes you got. You can't get into how many people or the crowd's noise. You can't get into the blogs and what they're saying about you.
Okay. With that being said,
Yeah.
And you can pick a time, any time in your career. Do you feel you were most hated?
Oh yeah.
Give us that example. When do you feel that throughout your career at a point where you felt like people really like came after you?
There were plenty of those times, but there was a specific amount of time that I can't really go into it, you know, completely.
Okay.
But there were times where there were the downs. But people just like to see you climb back up too.
Right. So my question is, when that happened to you,
Yeah.
in your mind, I'm not talking about how the world perceived what you was going through. In your mind,
Yeah.
how did it break you down? Did you feel that you couldn't come back from it?
See, can I curse?
Yeah.
Here's the fucked up part about all of that is that just like any other Black woman, I leaned into the strong Black woman trope.
Okay.
Basically means I don't have time to cry. I don't have time to be sad. I don't have time to have anxiety. I don't have time. I just have to keep it moving and keep going forward. And what that does is it doesn't allow us to be humans. I kept that stupid ass, and I say stupid ass, but it was my survival technique. Smile on my face. Yeah, I call it the mask. I kept the mask on my face and I kept it moving. Now, it helped us survive, but it also puts us in a position where you hear dumb people saying stuff like Black women endure pain better than anybody else. And we have the hardest time when we're sick in a hospital because of those tropes. And it's not fair to us. So when I was in those positions, I kept it moving. I remember this one time I was in the nail salon and some stuff came on about me on the television. And there was this, happened to be a Caucasian woman. She was sitting right next to me as it was on, and I'm looking like this, and I just put my head down while the lady was doing my nails. And the woman next to me goes, I know that girl is probably lying. She's such a liar. Don't you think she's a liar?
While you were sitting
yes,
there?
right. She goes, wait. She goes, right? Oh my God, it's you, isn't it?
She did that to you?
I started laughing. I said, yeah, it's me. It's me. And she says, I'm so sorry. Whatever happened to you? I'm so sorry. I said, yo, it's fine. Just don't say nothing. And I just kept it moving. I couldn't let it. I mean, I've had people try to spit in my food.
No.
Yeah.
And you saw that?
No, I'm going to tell you how it happened. So my brother was an Uber driver he was a taxi driver. They didn't have Uber back then. He was a taxi driver at the time. And I had just visited that restaurant with him the day before. So he picks up the chef from that restaurant and he was just, making conversation. He was like, yo, man, you ever have some celebrities? Knowing that I was just in there the day before. And so he goes, yo, man, you ever have some celebrities coming in? He was like, nah, man. Oh, yeah, man. That girl, Tisha Campbell, I can't stand her. I wanted to spit in her food. I almost spat her. It was she ordered like chicken pot pie and I almost spat in her food. If they didn't have the cameras, I would have did that. And Jermaine was like, I ordered the chicken pot pie. So it would have got. It wasn't me because I only had a salad.
Oh God.
But yeah, so those kind of things happen. And unfortunately, people forget that we are also human beings.
Yeah. So, okay. And the reason why I'm asking you this is because I always say like our careers, people who have longevity is one of the best blessings you can have.
It really is.
And when you're your own boss, you know, your own boss,
yes.
self-employed, especially in the career of entertainment. I always try to explain it to people like it's a roller coaster. You know, you're gonna have your highs and you're gonna have your lows, but then eventually if you stay on, you don't get off the roller coaster, it can go back up. So what I want to know is for anybody that's kind of going through that period where they're going through a woe is me period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Was there ever a time when you felt like the roller coasters was about to drop down? Was it hard for it to come back up? You know, did you feel like you was able to just push past easily? Like, what's the advice?
Here's the thing. It was always hard for us growing up. Like, I started in the 70s. In the 80s, where there were very few jobs for African Americans.
Right.
Children, women, boys and girls, men and women. It's just it was always hard for us, but we didn't do it. And I say we a lot because I refer to Tashina because we grew up in this together. So we didn't do it per se for fame or power. From our perspective, that was something that wasn't achievable because we had never really seen it other than, and then Bill Cosby wasn't even a thing back then because it was the 70s. So it was always hard. We always looked at it as you are always going to have challenges. Plus, my grandmother used to say, Tisha, you got to be extraordinary in order to be considered average. So you're going to have to work even harder than anybody else. You're going to have to be better than anybody else. And you have to give not only 100%, you have to give 1,000%.
Right.
So I always had that in the back of my mind. So when you say when the down's coming back up, I understood this, that it could always go like this. And starting over or trying to come up was nothing to me. And plus, and I've said this recently, I don't look at money the same as, like, my goal back then was to help my family. The money wasn't for me personally. It was to help my mom and my dad and my family out of our circumstances. So the ups and downs I understood were always going to come. Trying to stay on the roller coaster and stay in it was always our goal.
Yeah.
Feeding our families was always our goal.
So who the money for now?
Oh, the money for me and my kids. The money is for me and my kids.
I feel you, girl.
I ain't paying nobody's rent.
So, I mean, well, you talked about this in a previously, and then you kind of touched on it just a second ago.
Okay.
This idea of the social mask. Like the drama and the comedy mask.
Yes,
always smiling, making everybody think everything's okay. And
it's hard to put that bitch back on.
Right. So me personally, you already know I'm going through a transition in my life.
Come on, transition.
I mean, it is what it is.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful devastation, and that's what I need you to look at it as.
Beautiful devastation. I've never heard anybody say it like that.
When you're in it, you feel like it's the worst thing in the world. You feel like you're being beaten down. You feel like some people may feel smothered, may feel like they can't make it out of it. But when I tell you, sometimes, God puts you in certain situations and you never know why. It's always to the benefit. And so I embrace it. I talk about embracing the fall. Like when your kid was little and just learning how to walk, and they would get up, but you could see the excitement because they're excited and proud of themselves, but they also know they're about to fall.
Yeah.
Circumstances, traumas, all the things that we've been through as adults, we start to forget how to embrace the fall, right? We start to forget that even though this might be devastating, it's going to be for my benefit. I'm going to grow from it. I'm going to be better for it. I feel so amazing in this time right now because for the very first time, and you, again, Kandi, I keep saying this because we could relate. A lot of the things when you were a little girl coming up in this business, you weren't just doing it for you were doing it for the betterment of your family.
Yes, of course.
Right.
That's
so
all I was thinking about.
That's all you were thinking about, right? And so for me, now I'm able to do things for me, my choices, my life. My kids are basically grown.
You don't have to ask nobody.
I don't have to ask permission. I don't have to have limitations. And I'm going to try any and everything that I've ever wanted to do. This is for the very first time. And that's why it becomes a beautiful devastation, because what comes out of it, that darkness, what comes out of that darkness, there's that light at the end of the tunnel. When you come into that light and you turn that corner, freedom is a beautiful thing. And I also say joy is a verb. You have to work on that. You have to work on that.
I agree.
And so now I feel like I'm in the most happiest place I've ever been in my life.
That's dope. I mean, like you said, I feel like I agree with you. We relate in a lot of space, a lot of ways. So what do you feel about right now that it just brought you into your happiness? Like,
what brought me into my happiness?
Or just what is so different, like right now? Like,
I'm starting to take off the mask. The mask is hard to wear sometimes because I always have to wear it.
And do you think that's because you are a celebrity?
I think it's just who I am as a person. I think I'm an empath, of course. And because I was so in tune to my parents, their woes, their struggles, all of the things, I would try to make them feel okay. I felt, and I said this recently to somebody else, that it was my job from him to make everybody else okay.
I be saying that too.
You said that too?
I say that all the time.
Okay, but it's not, but
I'm always trying to, I'm always like, you good? You all right? Everything okay?
Right. We always taking care of everybody else and putting ourselves last. And when our well is dry, and our well has been dry for a while, how are we going to give to others when our well is dry? You can't. So if you're okay, then they'll be even better. So I had to learn boundaries. Because having that kind of attitude without boundaries is some BS. What? Why are you laughing?
You just hit on something else that I just said. So we do this thing called the Next Move Meetup. And so we had this book where in the beginning of it, you have to answer all these questions. And one of the questions was like, what are your boundaries? And honestly, it was so hard for me to figure out what my boundaries were.
Oh, Kandi, we too much. Kandi. We too much alike.
I felt like, why do I not have any cut off boundaries?
Can I tell you what happened?
What?
My kids taught me boundaries.
Okay.
So check it. So I think I was raised by a baby boomer. Were you?
My mom was 49.
Yeah.
She was born at 49.
She's my age. She's
49.
49. Oh,
she was
1949.
born in 1949.
I was about to say she's 49.
I'm 49. How can she be born in 49?
You a baby. But so she's a baby boomer. And baby boomers, they have a way of raising us where it's, blood is thicker than water, family first. You got to forgive people. You got to be quiet. You can't. So I was raised that way too. And of course, I kind of was passing that on to my kids. And they had a family member that they were not getting along with. And I kept saying, oh, they're family. You have to fix it. Come on, fix it, guys. And so my kid sat me down and was like, Mom, you got to stop doing that. I said, what do you mean? Like, I don't understand. You gotta stop. Because you're basically pushing us to get hurt. I said, and I had to realize I'm pushing them into trauma. And so they were like, I need you to kind of stay out of it. So what I did was I had to really listen to them. And they were like, we'll fix it when the time is right, if we ever do. But I can't keep getting treated this way. My kids, my autistic kid taught me that. And that's one thing about autism and some of these kids who are verbal. They don't hold their tongue. They are so truthful, kind, but truthful. And so I had to realize that literally I was pushing them into trauma. And so I had to decide that I couldn't encourage them to talk to this family member, and I couldn't discourage them to talk. I just stay out of it and let them have their experience.
Okay.
That's weird.
No, it's not. I look at my daughter Riley. I feel like that whole generation they have really pushed the
Gen
self-care.
Gen A's?
Yeah.
It's A's now, but
She's Gen Z.
Gen Z's.
She's Gen Z. Yeah, she's 23.
Oh, Gen Z.
Yeah. So I feel like that whole generation is more about self-care and they not putting up, they don't care if you're a family member or not.
Yeah.
I just all the things. Riley told me a statement one day. I was just like, oh.
What's she saying?
She said, I'm comfortable with making other people uncomfortable.
Ooh.
I was like, oh,
Isn't that interesting?
That's a selfishness in a way.
But it's not. It's self-full.
Yeah.
It's not selfish. She's being self-full, and I'm making a word, but that's how I look at it. She's taking care of herself and making sure that, listen, if you're not comfortable in my presence, we don't have to interact.
Yeah,
that's not how we were raised. It's weird for us. And it's really not, the quote isn't blood is thicker than water. People always get that mistaken. It's not blood is thicker than water. It's blood. The quote goes, the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. So it's the people that you choose to be your family can sometimes be, but we're always pushed to take disrespect or people having no boundaries. And my own kid, your kid is teaching you how to have boundaries. And once they did that, I was able to do that for myself. My child can do that. My autistic child can do that. I can do that. And I've been feeling so much better now that I put those boundaries in.
Yeah. I love AJ Johnson.
Yes.
Yeah, that's funny. You said, you mentioned before that AJ Johnson encouraged you to live more authentically.
Yeah.
What did that shift look like for you?
Let me tell you, it was a major shift, actually. So AJ Johnson, we both were in school days together. That's how I met her out here in Atlanta. She went to Spelman. AJ became an actress, but she's also a life coach. So she came over to my house Easter Sunday because I was having a big Easter party. And I call it my resurrection day.
Oh.
Since it was resurrection day, right? But AJ's always been a life coach. Like she was there, and I had about a good 500 people in my house that day, right? Barbecuing and everything. And she was life coaching people, and she was asking them questions like, father or mother, Doritos or nachos. And after she would ask these salt and pepper kind of questions, she would read the people for filth, okay? I mean, she had your whole life down, and this is what you need to do. And so I was like, I'm next, AJ. And she was like, I don't feel comfortable doing you. And I was like, I really don't care what you talk about right now. I need for you to do me. And she was like, all right. She started asking me the questions, right? And so at the end of it, she goes, take the mask off. And I was like, as soon as she said it, it didn't really happen, but figuratively, it felt like my whole face just crashed on the ground, and I'm seeing just it crash. And all of a sudden, it was like the Wizard of Oz. You know, when they go into Technicolor, from black and white to Technicolor? It was like my eyes were open, and I started seeing everybody for who they really were. all of those people that never helped me clean up after the barbecues, that had me cooking and running around and serving everybody, all of those people, even stealing my liquor, all of those people didn't have good intentions. All of those people that were, not every single person, but most of them there. And it was like I was seeing the demons. And so what happened after that, what it looked like after that, after everybody left, was complete. I fell into a depression.
Damn.
A depression because I didn't know if I could change. I didn't know if I could keep this off and navigate my life because I knew that I had to remove myself from all of these negative individuals. But I didn't know if I could make that happen, if I could apply what she said. And so the depression, and I didn't know what depression was. I just kept sleeping. I was asleep all day, all night. I couldn't keep my eyes open. I was asleep. I just couldn't do it. And then I started to cut down the people that were around me, the ones, even the neutral ones, people who don't make choices, who say, oh, I like you both, or I like, I like to, neutral, I can't do neutral because you got to make a decision or you're an enabler to all of these people. So I had to make my friend group smaller. And once I started to make my friend group smaller, they started to empower me. I started to be around people who didn't mind me shining. Because I don't mind when anybody shines.
I don't either.
But how many times have you come across people, whether they're family, friends, or whatever, or associates, where they don't like to see you shine or be in a position of happiness?
Yeah, I've run into that.
A lot. And I made my friend group smaller. And then one time, I'm going to tell it, AJ. So one time, she tells the story too, but AJ, right after that, maybe about a year after, she was sitting me down and telling me that this person that I was around wasn't a good friend. They were actually a jealous person, and they didn't want me to do well in life. And so as she's telling me, I'm defending them. I'm defending the very person who was actually hurting me. And I was like, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. And she was like, I'm telling you, you don't need that person in your life. You don't need them. And I was like, well, you know what, AJ? You could get the fuck out. She goes, you kicking me out? I said, no, I'm not kicking you out. I'm kicking you the fuck out. Get the fuck out my house. What? She said, okay. She fucking left. Then she calls me the next day. Hey, girl.
She called you like nothing happened?
Like nothing happened. I said, the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you fucking calling my phone? Didn't I kick you out? Yeah. Bye, AJ. Okay, bye. Click. Next day. Hey, girl, I'm just checking on you. I said, you're fucking nuts. But I realized in that moment, after that second call, she wasn't going anywhere. She understood me in my weak moment, in my weakest moment. She understood how my brain operated. She understood how I had been basically misled, abused by these friendships and connections. And she wasn't going to let it go.
How long did it take you to realize she was right?
Well, she knocked on my door that third day and she was like, hey, girl. I said, you're fucking crazy. I kicked you out. No, she said, no, you kicked me the fuck out. She says, I'm not going anywhere. I understand, and I'm not going anywhere. She came in, and of course, it turns out she was absolutely correct about that person.
How long did it take you to find out?
Oh, it was within days.
Oh, it was like close to the time.
Yeah, and I threatened everybody else around her too. Because I was like, I'm backing up the story. So when I kicked her out, and I was like, and you and you and you, If you don't like it and you agree with her, you could get the fuck out too. I was cussing everybody out. But I was holding on to people.
But you truly believe that you were right.
I did. I truly believed that this person was a good person and had good intentions for me. And I fight for underdogs, but I'm usually fighting for fucking victims. And I don't do victims no more. You don't get to come into my life like that. I just don't do it.
Yeah.
No. And now I have people strategically around me that's a Tisha, and I'm gonna listen to them. They'll pull my card.
Okay, so whatever it was that you found out to make you realize that she was telling the truth, was it from her or somebody around in that circle giving you the information, or you just stumbled into it?
No, hell no. It was from the girl. She did some old bullshit. And I realized AJ's right. That bitch ain't my friend. And I went to AJ.
So did you go, you apologize?
Of course.
Oh, okay.
And we laughed about it, that she was that crazy and that much of a fucking friend to not let me go down that path.
That's dope.
So fucking dope.
So when she first said to you, basically, I don't even want to do you, she already knew.
She knew. She knew. She knew. She had been watching. And it's interesting because AJ, we kept, you know, she would pop in and out just to check on me, but she would never be around. Like even those kind of parties that she would watch the people literally using me. She would just look in, make sure I was okay. And then she would just leave. AJ leave, y'all. Yeah, you know, she left. She would just disappear and not be there anymore at the party. And she would always, and I knew then that she was just popping in to make sure I was okay, but she couldn't allow herself to be in that kind of an environment, watching me be in a toxic relationships.
Okay, so how did you rebuild after like going through the stuff with, you know, you finding that
Just a transition.
Yeah, the transition. How do you rebuild?
Again, I diminished my friend group with people who would tell me the truth. I needed truth tellers around me. I needed people that was going to hold me accountable. And the one thing that I have and that you have is that we really have good relationships. You could take everything away from me, but I was good to people.
Yeah.
Coming up in this business, I was good. I was kind. And those relationships helped me rebuild.
Yeah. That I always say, it's like, you gotta be careful how you treat people, because later on, you never know who's gonna be like, oh yeah, let me look out for her. Yes. I totally feel you on that. Okay, I want to go back into you as far as like what we were talking about earlier with motherhood. Yeah. And you were saying that, your son, one of your sons was on the spectrum. So how old was he when you first found out he was on the spectrum?
Okay. So I have a book coming out, by the way, about autism.
I know.
And it's called The A Word. And we explore all of this, the diagnosis. And I was actually on My Wife and Kids when I got the diagnosis. But I kept telling people something's up with the baby as soon as I brought him home. It was like 3 days later. I kept saying something's up with the baby. And they kept saying, no, you're just a new mom. You're just a new mom. But, I really do feel like the reason why I became an actress, our job is to master human emotions. And when I saw something, a lack of, something was not, it was divergent. And I didn't even know what that meant back then. I didn't know what neurodivergency was, but I felt it in my soul. And I feel like I was supposed to be an actress so that I could peep game early. because he wasn't doing the things that the typical neurotypical kids did. He wasn't meeting the what do you call it?
Yeah, the markers.
The goals, the milestones, the typical milestones of a toddler. And I peeped it early, even as a baby. I peeped it early. And when it comes to motherhood, I'm very aggressive. I love my kids.
Okay.
I love my babies, and I will fight for my kids. So I caught it early. I caught it very early. And I was actually doing floor time techniques and therapies with my son and didn't know that was what I was doing. I just naturally was doing it. So once we got the diagnosis when he was the official diagnosis, when he was about 24 months.
Okay, so like 2.
Yeah, almost. We started hearing things from doctors, my pediatrician, at 18 months, but by 24 months, we kind of knew.
So you named your book The A Word. Is that because when people first find out that their child has autism, it's kind of like hard to accept?
Partially. It's hard for the people around us to accept and even say the word. And culturally, especially, back in the day, it was like, ain't nothing wrong with that baby. That baby just like to hit his head up against brick walls. Ain't nothing wrong with that baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We didn't have the resources. We didn't have the therapists. We didn't have the teachers. We didn't have the doctors in our communities that were actually diagnosing us properly. We're always misdiagnosed. And not only misdiagnosed, some of our kids are so misdiagnosed, they'll tell them that they're just bad. Or they'll end up in prison. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, it was just really important to figure it out early, and I'm glad that I did. I'm very lucky. So, yeah.
Is that something that you shared with all your family and friends when it happened, or did you like keep it close to the chest?
No. Hell yeah. I shared with my family and friends. Now, I didn't do it publicly because like I said, I'm very protective of my kids, but I shared with anybody that was going to be around my child, because if you don't listen to me and my therapist, you can't be around them. Because you could easily, all the work that your therapist does in that one day with a toddler, if you come around and if one of the rules in your house was he can't watch TV because he could be overstimulated by that, and one of the family members turns on the television and sits him down and lets the TV babysit him, then you're undoing, and he has to start all over again in therapy. You're undoing it all. You're deleting it all. So if you couldn't listen to my therapist, if you couldn't listen, or if you couldn't even say the word autism, you couldn't be around my kid. You have to accept the diagnosis, not the label, but you can accept the diagnosis, because then together as a village, we can help him get better.
Right. Okay, so you said your book, The A Word, is so personal. You call it a love letter.
Yeah.
As the author, what did you pour into it emotionally?
Well, first of all, you guys are going to get to meet a different Tisha Campbell in this book, because along with some of the heartfelt moments, the heart aching moments, I'm me. I'm going to incorporate wit and comedy, and it's through the whole thing. But some things you're going to be able, even parents, caretakers, even people that don't have autistic children or know somebody who's autistic, you'll be able to see me in a different light, because there are moments where I'm cussing people out. There are moments where I'm as vulnerable as I could be. Writing this book is one of the stepping stones for me taking off the mask, being who I really am, taking away the trope, the strong Black woman trope, and really being vulnerable. And I didn't have a ghostwriter. I wrote this myself.
Okay.
And I was scared. I know I'm a good storyteller, but I always wanted to be an author when I was 7 years old. And then my stupid brothers took my poetry book to school and handed it out to everybody. Everybody coming back to me reading my poetry. So I wouldn't even keep a journal. I gave up on that dream of being an author. I gave up on even a diary. So, but when Zen got the diagnosis, I would write things even on a piece of paper or a napkin or pages and pages of stuff, and I would throw it way in the back of my file cabinet so nobody would find it. And so I was never going to pick that file back up. It was just to get these feelings and thoughts out of my head. But then as Zen was getting older and we were sharing more with the world, people would approach me and go, I just need your help. Can you just give me some advice? Blah, 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 blah. And I of course I do it. I take people's numbers. I got somebody's number at the airport, one of the workers, because I just wanted to help her. And my friend was like, you're always being approached like this. You need to write a book. And I was like, I don't want to relive that. That was heartbreaking. That was horrible to relive the whole entire thing again. And so I went to the file cabinet. I remembered, I was like, oh, I wrote all this stuff. So I started just compiling all the papers. And I was like, this is a book. So I started putting things in order. And I gave it to a friend to read, right? This dude, he ain't even no friend. I ain't gonna tell you no friend. Because let me tell you what this dude said. He read it, and he read some things, right, that I had written. And then he was looking at me like this. I said, why are you looking at me like that? He said, you're intelligent. I said, I will punch you in your face. And I said, yes, I'm intelligent. He's like, but you don't talk that way.
Well, I can relate to that too.
But what I realized about myself was, first of all, I paid attention in English class and didn't realize it. And then second, once I was working with my therapist and getting rid of the trauma and some of the menopause, there was a plethora of vocabulary words just sitting in my damn brain that I didn't even know existed, right? Plethora. And so when I handed my manuscript to the one publishing house that didn't want me to write a salacious tell-all, because that's not who I am. That's not my brand. That's not what I do. I found HarperCollins and they were like, we get what you're trying to do. You want to help people. I was like, yes, this is about autism. This is a mother and son's journey. Right. They were like, we think you can write this by yourself. This is amazing. And I was like, you think I'm a real author? A real one? They was like, you don't need a ghostwriter. Dumbest shit I ever did. That was so dumb. That was so much work. That was so dumb. But I will tell you this. After I finished it and the reaction of the publisher, the reaction of their lawyer even, their lawyer was like, it's the best thing that has come across my desk in the last 10 years. Because, you know how they have to go through legal and stuff like that. And he was like, I read books all the time. I'm actually an author as well as their attorney. But Tisha, it's one of the best things. And I'm really proud of the fact it's one of the hardest things I've ever produced. But I'm so proud that I did it because I know people are somebody might see themselves in these pages and get something out of it. And I think the hardest 2 chapters that I had to write about was my son's suicidal ideations and how it affected him and me, or how my dad's death affected him and me. Those were really hard things to write. But still, somehow, there's so much hope in those pages. There's guidance in those pages. There are things, I show everything that I did, how aggressive I was as an advocate. All of those things you get to see. And the fact that a lot of the diagnosis happened while I'm still trying to wear this mask.
Yeah.
And I'm still doing everything for everybody, even my coworkers or Damon or anybody, just making sure that they're okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I also explore, it's like you're in my mind, what's really going on behind the mask.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of people will enjoy it. It doesn't matter whether you're a mother, a father, a caretaker, or somebody who is autistic, or people who aren't autistic. They're going to get to know me in a different light. And it's crazy. It's a wild ride.
Okay. I don't know if I'm allowed to ask this question, but we can scratch it if I'm not. Okay.
Okay, listen.
So how do you explain to your son's on a spectrum? How did you explain to him separation?
He is an honest person, so I had to be honest.
Okay.
I had to tell them. And
say more so my adult children and Ace, he's 10. Blaze don't really know what's going on. She's just living her best life. But
that 10-year-old is at an impressionable age.
Yeah.
So I went to a lot of therapy. That's when I first started going to therapy, because I needed somebody to help me with the verbiage. Of how to present it to them. And the therapist kept saying, I know it's very cliche to say this, but children are resilient. And you would rather tell them the truth than anything else. And trust me, the truth was hard. He does not like change. He's an autistic person who doesn't like change.
Right.
So it was devastating to him. He was angry with me. He was pissed. But then something
did
just
he look at you like it was your fault?
Yeah. Because you again, my mother was just like me. She would shield us from any disagreements, arguments. I think it's healthy for you to debate with your significant other, whoever they may be, and show the child how to solve conflict. But hiding everything from them, they think that their world is rose-colored glasses.
Right.
And so it's hard to put them in that position. But he said, it's going to get worse before it gets better, but you're going to have to say the truth. Because shielding them is not real life, and they need to start to move into this new transition as safely as possible. You're going to get some knocks, but I promise you it's going to be okay.
Did you touch on that in the book?
I did.
Because I think that's important. I mean, I think, like I said, it's hard enough to try to explain to
a neurotypical child.
Right. I mean, I don't know.
That's it. Yes, that's it.
Thanks for teaching me.
You got it.
Yeah.
We don't want nobody getting canceled around here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still learning. I always know.
It's all good. It's all good.
But I mean, I just didn't know, like, how did you explain that to a child that was on the spectrum? So
tell them the truth.
So that's good to know.
I think you have to tell them the truth. And that doesn't mean that anything is your fault. That doesn't mean that we love you any less. It's important to not put the other person down, no matter what that other person does. Because some people are in situations out here where you got one parent saying something bad about the other, and that's still their parent. So you have to take that into consideration and ignore all of that.
Yeah, we really got to be mature about this.
You got to be mature. Now, everybody's not mature, and everybody this is just not like that in real life. But just like my kids understood that they needed boundaries, we have to have them as well. And you know what? No matter what happens, even if there's anger, that's the beautiful part of this, being able to tell this story, is that even beyond the anger, the initial anger that they might feel, or angst or anything, you keep communicating with your child. You keep telling them how much you're loved, and that, look at you, you get 2 Christmases. Oh.
I'm trying to figure that out now. Like this is gonna be my first year that I'm gonna have to experience that. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to read the book too if you talk about that.
Definitely.
Okay, so going into you decided to do stand up.
Girl.
How did you just decide you're gonna be a comedian?
I didn't decide, it was a mistake.
What you mean?
It was a mistake, girl. Let me tell you something. So I was in DC, Washington, DC, supporting D Nice.
Okay, yes.
And his fiance. And so I was supporting him. I specifically came because he had a 3-night residency at the Kennedy Center. And one of the nights was a comedy night. And he had, oh my God, amazing comedians. Michael Che, Sherry Shepherd, Chris Spencer, Gina Yashre, Zaynab. He had the creme de la creme of, comedians. And his host fell out. And so he was like, hey, my host fell out. Can you come and host? Can you bring them up? I was like, yeah, I can bring them up for you. No problem. And we're friends. I got you. And so he was like, yeah. So yeah, do 15 minutes before. I said, who you talking to? I know you ain't talking to me. He was like, it was actually Beck. You know Beck? Rebecca?
No.
Okay, so she's a road manager. She helps a lot of musicians. And so she's works with him. And she was like, girl, just ask Chris Spencer to help you. I was like, Chris ain't gonna help shit. He got ADD. And so I called Chris. And Chris goes, just tell a story. I said, I knew your ass wasn't gonna help me. But then I know how Chris works too, because his ass really do have it, and so do I. I have ADD too. But I knew I would have to wait right before I went on, about half hour to 15 minutes, and get him in a corner. And so he gave me a couple of pointers, and I went out there, and out in the audience of 4,000 people, my very first time being able to tell my real truth, my stories. There was an agent, and she called Chris and was like, I want to put her on the road.
Really?
And I've been on the road ever since.
So how many shows have you done at this point?
Oh my gosh, I have no idea, because I literally go on the weekends, because
So what you do when you get heckled?
Oh, listen, I grew up in the 70s, and and with Tashina Arnold. Okay. Nobody heckles better than Tashina Arnold. My skin is so thick, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm good at it.
Okay. I gotta come to one of your shows. I cannot wait.
It's fun. I actually have a show at Helium in Atlanta that I'm doing tonight.
Oh, it's tonight?
Yeah, I have a 7 o'clock and a 9 o'clock. And then I also have one on Saturday at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Tiny's coming to one of them, right? Tomorrow. She's coming tomorrow.
Yeah, I gotta go to New York tomorrow.
No, it's all good. So when I come back, because I gotta come back for the book tour. So
I gotta see you.
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay. You've been starring in new films lately. You were in Mary J. Blige Presents Be Happy. How were you? And Gabby was the director.
Yes, Gabby Sidibe. Yes, she is one of the most amazing directors I've worked with.
That's awesome.
So clear. Her voice is so clear. Her storytelling is clear. And she has a wonderful relationship with everybody. And I just wanted to make her proud, because I had worked with her before. But this was, an opportunity. And she knows, because the thing that I worked with her on, it wasn't a comedy. And because I started out doing drama and theater, most people assume that I'm just a comedic actress. They only think about the last thing you did.
Right,
how it is.
Right.
So she gave me this opportunity to do more of a dramatic role. And I wanted to make her proud. And she told me I could see every single thing you did and how you worked so hard for this. And she just kept saying thank you, and it made me cry. But I wanted to make her proud, and Mary proud too.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Okay,
here goes our rapid fire questions.
Shoot.
Funniest person you ever worked with?
Tashina Arnold.
One role or moment in your career that changed you the most?
Uncoupled.
Ooh.
Yeah, Uncoupled
Why?
Uncoupled is It was with Neil Patrick Harris, and it was like a male gay Sex in the City, and I played his best friend. And it was because of the writing. The writing was different, and the way that they penned it had a different rhythm. Like it had a lot of Jewish humor has a different rhythm to it.
It does.
Yeah, so I was able to play with that, and I leaned all the way into it. So, and nothing but theater actors were on this production. So it was really nice to be able to have that freedom to work with people that you know are going to work hard.
Yeah.
So I think that
Theater
changed
actors
me.
are different.
Yeah. They are. They're serious.
Okay, one city that always gives you the best energy.
Oh, Newark, where I'm from, Newark, New Jersey.
Okay.
That's home.
Yes. What's one thing you can't go on tour without besides your confidence?
Oh, earphones.
Oh.
Okay, so I have auditory processing disorder.
We can tell you've been in therapy, child. You got all these different disorders.
No. This particular, and I've had it my whole entire life. So I can't filter out sound.
Okay.
So I can hear everything from the air conditioning. But it sounds like it's right here. And so like if I'm in like a cheesecake factory, all the different sound, that's the loudest place you could go. All the different sound, people eating, scraping plates, right? Yeah, I was too. But it's hard for me to hear a conversation because I can't filter out the external sounds. So I forgot why I was even telling you that. What was the question?
Because I was saying that you can't go on tour without. You said your headphones.
My headphones, so I have to have noise canceling headphones, which help me.
Okay. What's one word that describes this season of your life?
Joyous.
Okay.
Joyous.
Right now, finish the sentence. Right now, Tisha Campbell is.
Right now, Tisha Campbell is finding herself.
I feel you. So am I.
That's right.
What's new in love?
Huh?
What's new in love? Are you dating? Are you like what? What you into? What you like?
Auditory processing disorder. I didn't hear your question.
You just did a whole movie about love. And now you want to act like you don't know what I'm talking about.
Actually, I'm loving on myself because I'm really discovering myself. Oh, no. I got toys.
I know you didn't mean that, but I'm going to ask you anyway.
Oh, yeah. No, I keep a good, listen, that's another story.
She's loving on herself, y'all.
I love on myself. I did set myself up. No, I love on myself. I have my situationships. I'm not by myself. But I am really trying to unpack all the baggage of traumas that I've been through from the time I was a little girl up until now before I actually commit to that kind of thing. I don't think I'll be married again though.
I don't either.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Yeah.
That's it. You know what? That's going to be a great, that's a great clip right there. Unless they needed some insurance or for tax purposes. Come on, that's the
Somebody told me that type of thing don't even really work well when you make above a certain amount anyway.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Well, I have this new thing that I like to do.
Oh God.
I want you to speak into the project, speak into the things that you're doing, speak life into us. So like, for instance, I'm speaking that I'm stepping into my best era of my life. I'm speaking that my body is going to be fit. I'm speaking that the new play that I'm working on, producing, that it's going to be a huge success, like all those things. So what are you speaking right now?
I am speaking on You Go Girl Productions and all of the things that we got cooking in there. There's some things that's coming out soon that I am producing along with my producing partner, Danny Wright, that we've created. Some things y'all gonna be happy about culturally. Culturally, y'all gonna be happy about this. I'm speaking into my friendships. I'm speaking into the light that I have to continuously try to give. And I want to speak the light that's going to be given back to me. I'm speaking into my thankfulness, my graciousness, and my kids. I'm speaking into the success for them being loved and their careers, their goals, and everything that they want. And yeah, that's it. I'm speaking into my joy.
Yay! I am so happy that you came on the show today. We definitely got to have,
we got to have tea.
A little moment where we can really sit down.
Yes.
Talk about all the things that life has taken us through.
And can I just say how proud I am of you?
Thank you.
We've been through some stuff.
We have, publicly too.
And I'm just so proud of you because you keep landing on your feet no matter what.
Thank you.
You will, thank you. And you will continue to land on your feet, but just because that's just who you are. You're a good person.
Thank you. You are too.
Thank you.
Well, that's all it is for now, y'all. Right now, I just want to say thank you so much, Tisha Campbell. Okay. She's killing the game, been killing the game, and y'all better put some respect on her name. You hear me? Thank you for watching. Speak.